Welcome back. I'm here with a player that has now made history for the men's golf team. This is Kyle Maki with me. He's a freshman on the squad. But Kyle, first of all, let's talk about this. You have the first hole-in-one in school history.
You know, I never even knew about that until today. I was just told, so I mean, feels pretty good. I know the golf program started in 2007, so pretty cool to have the first one in 14 years. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So talk to me a little bit about that actual invitational itself, how you set up the shot. Just tell me a little bit about that day and how you led up to making that hole-in-one.
Well, Rock Hollow, beautiful course. Definitely one of the most difficult I've played. Where I'm from, we don't, have a lot of courses with that much water, wind. Distance-wise, it was pretty deep. So my whole goal was just try and get to the green in regulation as much as I could. Just, take one shot at a time, keep moving forward. And when I did that, the first day, played okay. Second day was a little harder, more wind. Up until the par 3, I was playing pretty solid. But that par 3 is dangerous. I was like, all right, wind's playing pretty heavy. It's 219 to the green. So I pulled up my 6, aimed right because the wind was blowing hard left. Just took a whack at it. Played the best shot I could, landed on the green, and rolled right in. So it was a pretty cool experience. And then just played great the rest of the round. Ended up having one of the best rounds of my season this year, and finally beat Rafa, who's our number 2. Haven't done that since I've been here, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in because I was going to ask you, there's so many different aspects that go into the shot you were talking about, like where the ball is placed, the wind, the elevation.
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep all of these things in track?
Honestly, I just try not to think about it. I know my distances with my clubs, and I have a rangefinder, so I just go up, shoot the distance. If it's playing downhill, I'll take a few yards off. If the wind's blowing, I'll add a few yards, kind of just guesstimate and hit the ball.
So that simple.
That's
just
simple.
Guesstimate.
Before I came here, I used to think a lot when I was playing golf, and that would kind of hurt me because I'd overthink shots. And Rafa, one of my teammates, told me, he said, the best thing you can do is not think. Just hit the ball, no expectations, go into it, and then just take each shot at a time.
That's great life advice for anything, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, you've talked about Rafa and some of your teammates. Is it weird being a freshman now with a record?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't know, maybe I can break another one by the time I leave here, but yeah, it's exciting.
Now, how's your transition been from high school to college? Is it a weird transition to play golf like that?
I mean, yes and no. I played hockey most of my life, so from like a teammate's perspective, this team is awesome. I love all the boys on the team, so that, kind of helped me get accustomed to golf and school. We have a great coach in Jeff Williams who also helps, so the transition hasn't been that hard. The playing field is definitely a lot harder down here. There's a lot more competition than where I'm from, but transition-wise, I was ready to move on to the next part of my life, so it hasn't been too difficult.
And you mentioned you're from Upper Michigan. What's the difference like between, a place that's as far north as Upper Michigan compared to a place like Richmond, Indiana?
The weather would be the biggest difference, I'd say. It's always windy. Around this time, we'd have snow on the ground by now, get about 3 months to play golf up there. So, and there's like no people compared to here. So everyone always says there's nothing to do here. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff to do here. Are you kidding me? So I like it. It's a great place.
Now, did you grow up near a Great Lake?
Yeah, I live on Lake Superior.
Okay. So when it comes to also talking about climate, how does playing golf translate over to Indiana? Because I know the team travels a lot from place to place. Is travel something that you're used to?
Yeah, mostly traveled for hockey. We would play everywhere in the nation. But for golf, yeah, I pretty much would stay in Michigan and Wisconsin. So I'm used to wind. I guess you could say I hit a pretty low ball with all my clubs because it, keeps it out of the airstream. But, I mean, compared to here, it's, just less windy here, nicer weather, no complaints.
So you've got a bunch of clubs, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Now, are they your clubs that you've bought?
Yeah.
What do you recommend for a golfer that's trying to get into the sport, or maybe they might be in a position to play in high school or college? What do you recommend to start out with?
So for just starting out, go get some clubs that, are the right size for you, and go to the range before anything and just hit balls, get a routine down. If you know someone that plays golf that can help you, have them help you, because the more you swing, the better you're going to get. If you just try and go out and play right away, it's not going to work out very well. You're going to get frustrated. You might not want to play it anymore. And club-wise, if you're planning on playing in high school and college, and if you've been playing already and you've had a set of clubs and you want to get new ones and you're serious about the sport, I recommend getting fitted. That's what I did. You go to a guy that's a professional, you try out all different kinds of clubs, and you see what works best for you. And you go from there, and then, if you decide to get those clubs, that's probably what's best. But if not, then get used to whatever you want to get used to.
Now let's say, so you've gotten used to your clubs, you've gotten the training in, you've gone down to the range. Now you're in college, and you've got school. We're in COVID, so that's messed up everything entirely.
Yeah.
How are you balancing golf and school?
Well, I came here with about a full year of credits from when I was in high school, so thankfully I'm only taking 4 classes right now, so school-wise, it's not that difficult. I know a lot of people, have more than that, so it's probably more difficult. For me, it hasn't been too hard. We have practice at either 9 or 5, and then we leave, either during the weekend or Monday, Tuesday for golf. So, I don't have classes on Monday or Friday. I haven't really missed class. So it's been pretty easy to balance, easier than I expected. And school is definitely harder than high school, but you put in the time, you'll be fine.
Yeah, especially with online classes. Do you have any online classes?
I have one.
Yeah. So it's hit or miss. I mean,
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of student athletes. Some really hate online classes. Some love them. But it sounds like you've got a pretty good transition going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so finally, I just want to ask you about the past season, looking ahead, some goals. What have been your overall thoughts for your freshman year of IU East golf?
I would say I'm pretty happy of how I played this year. Thankful that this group of guys that I came in were so, open to having freshmen coming in. They, welcomed us with open arms, helped us, and because of it, we got a lot better. So moving forward, I just hope we keep competing. We played great this year as a team, won a few tournaments. Obviously, we have Jake Miller, who's the best player in Indiana, arguably. It's great to have him and his knowledge. So moving forward, goals for our team is to win conference in the spring. Just keep doing that, keep getting better every day we go to practice. And my personal goals is just to keep improving and see where I can take it.
Do you have any specific ideas of improving, or just getting out there and getting reps?
Yeah, just getting reps.
Now, do you have any rivalries that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to beat Midway. Haven't done that since I've gotten here. I didn't really know who our rivals were when I first got here, but, the guys have told me we need to beat Midway. That's the team we need to beat. They're, right there with us. We lost to them by a couple in the RSC Invitational. And if we played our best golf, we definitely had them. But first day we didn't play great, so moving forward, I definitely want to beat them, beat Midway. It's number one goal, rivalry-wise. It's always nice to beat Kokomo, too. But
Well, anybody in conference is pretty fun to beat them.
Exactly, yeah.
But when you're looking at, the overall team, you've mentioned a lot of names, so I'm assuming that you've been able to talk with people. How have you been able to build that camaraderie, and how have you been able to, in a slightly individualistic game, make lasting connections?
I think mostly I have to thank our coach for that. Jeff played basketball for a lot of years, and when he called me and told me that he was the new coach, and he said, look, you might know more about golf than me, but whatever you need, I'm here for you. I'm going to bring a team aspect to it. And I think all the guys that he brought in are big team guys. We all played team sports, and I think that has helped us build a really cool bond. Plus it all helps that we pretty much all live together. So yeah, I think that really helps.
You guys all live together?
At the Annex. We're all in the same building pretty much.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there's a party going on at the Annex, apparently. So Kyle, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and good luck with upcoming IU East golf goals.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And that'll do it for another episode of Inside IU East Sports. Check back in next week when we have more interviews coming up. Take care.